Yell at me, guys, if this stops. Good evening and welcome to Music Scrap, the musical scrapper. I look a little different tonight because I'm not on my webcam. I'm at my mom's. Very hot. Woohoo! Anyway, and so I am sorry. I've got a ceiling fan going and I've got a fan over my shoulder here blowing on me to keep me cool. So I apologize if you're hearing a bit of wind, but it's the fan. So you'll have to deal with it because I can't deal without it. Oh dear. So yeah, Mom's out in the kitchen and I warned her that she was going to hear me talking, but that I wouldn't be talking to her, so she didn't have to try and be like, what? So she's out in the kitchen with the dog and a fan. And I'm in here with my computer and a fan. So, but anyway, so we're all good, although we're hot. So the program I've got open here is called Inkscape. Now, my top menu is going to look a little different than if you were on Windows, because Inkscape is a Windows program, Windows-based program. But you can run it on a Mac. So, if this is something that interests you, this is a drawing program that will create SVGs. And then the SVGs can be imported into Shortcuts a lot, Make the Cut, and then or into the Silhouette software if you have the Designer Edition. SVGs are also great for using on websites and stuff because of their size is a lot less than a JPEG or anything like that, and so SVGs are also used on websites and web pages and things like that. I don't know much about that part of it. I'm still just learning Inkscape. It's something I've learned on my own and watching tutorials on YouTube. So, if you are on Windows, you just have to go to just Google download Inkscape. It's a free program, and it does a lot of really great stuff, considering it's a free program. Now, if you're on a Mac, you download the Inkscape, and you also have to download another program. I think the version now is called Quartz. It was 10. You can see it down here, right here. I think it's called Quartz now is the other program, because what this Quartz program does is it translates the Inkscape so you can use it on your Mac. So, anyway. So I've just clicked New and Open. The default open size is A2 size. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to create an 8.5 by 11 page. You can create any custom size page you want. I just do 8.5 by 11 because it's easy for my brain to work around because we're used to that size. So document properties, if you're going to go in and cut on your cutter a 12 by 12 piece, you may want to set up this page as 12 by 12. But for now, I'm going to set it up as a US letter 8.5 by 11. And I think I'll start it in landscape. And I'm going to change my units to inches, not pixels, because I can't think in pixels and I can't even think in millimeters. So, and I'm going to switch here to inches as well. All right, so now to get this as large as I can in my screen, I am going to press the number 5. So, all right. So let's start very easy. Now this is what I use to create all my stencil programs. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how you can trace with it a clip art image that you may find online. So I'm going to open my Firefox here. Oh, hi Goofmeister, Gwen. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. All right. So, all right. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. Silly. All right. So what would you like me to trace an image of, guys? I'm going to click on images here. Oh, no, Jess, really? Ugh. There was poor Deborah just tweeted again that she's being evacuated from the emergency center that she was evacuated to. Oh, Glenda. Oh, I called her Gwen and she's Glenda. I'm sorry, Glenda. Oh, gosh, I knew that. Ugh. Okay, so let's do a feather. Now, I want line art, so I'm going to put in feather, clip art, or line art. So I'm going to put line art. Let's see what I get here. Okay, so then you get all these. Oh, this is my sister's. I stole my sister's mouse, but she doesn't need it because she's in Germany. So let's get one of these feathers. This is like a peacock one. This is a pretty good one. Now, what you want is, if you're making a stencil or even a cutout, you have to think about what lines are coming out and which are coming in. And I'll talk about that more, which are going to be cut and which are going, I should say, which are going to be cut and which are going to be left behind. So let's copy this image. And then I'm going to move my Firefox down. And I'm just going to paste my image. She's Southmore. Oh. All right. Now, we can get rid of these pieces later. Let's see if it's, make it smaller so it all fits on. Hold on. Gotta get my corner here. Make it smaller. There we go. All right, so I've got it on the page. She said every single road from her town is underwater. So, in southern Manitoba, southern Saskatchewan, and even the city of Regina, which is the capital of Saskatchewan, is having problems with their flooding. So, okay, so now I need to trace this because it came in as a, I don't know if it's a JPEG or a ping, or it's not a ping. It's a JPEG or a GIF. Anyway, and we need to make it an SVG. Now, an SVG has paths instead of pixels. Okay, JPEGs, GIFs, pings, those are all created from pixels, little squares of color. Whereas an SVG, it has lines, like a dot-to-dot drawing. And it's the dot-to-dot, each line has a node on the end of it, and it's the nodes that your cutting machine, whether it's a Silhouette or a Cricut or any other type of cutting machine, electronic cutter, it's these nodes that tell your blade to cut from here to here and here to here and here to here. So the more nodes that is in your picture, the more detailed your cut is going to be. And vice versa. The more detailed your cut is, the more nodes there has to be and shorter lines. So it's going to take longer for your cutter to cut. Now, so how I do this is I need to make my paths, which are what the nodes connect. So I'm going to go up to Path, and I'm going to click Object to Path. And a box is going to open. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry, never mind. Not Object to Path. Oh, sorry, I'm watching the chat and... Yeah, exactly, Eileen. And then when people, what's nice about it too, doing it this way, is when people are watching the recording, they're also going to be able to read the chat. So you guys behave because you're recorded on the video. Oh dear. So, sorry. Rewind. I'm not going to Object to Path. That's for a different lesson. Sorry about that. I'm going to Path, and I'm going to Trace Bitmap. There's my window. Now, this is the default option. So I'm going to try that and see if it works. For a black and white picture like this is, for a clip art, usually the default will work. All right, now you'll notice by looking at the photo that we've got an awful lot of little funny lines there. So I'm going to choose edge detection, see if that gives me a better result. No. Color. It's going to see 8 colors. That shouldn't work any better, and it didn't because there's only black and white. Let's try grays down here. And that didn't. So what I need to do is change the brightness cutoff. I'm going to increase it and update. It looks like the way this photo is drawn, it's not going to trace very well. And that's a good example. The very first one I chose doesn't always work. Hi, Cher. All right, so let's go choose a different one. That one's not going to work. All right, let's go back to my, hold on. Let's choose a better feather. Just because it was dark doesn't mean it's going to work. More than often I get ones that do work well. Okay, this one. Let's do this one. This one looks good. Copy image. Oh, it'll help if I open it up because it'll give me a better image. Okay, so copy image. Paste image. Oops. And Army, that's Linda, I believe. I think. Oh, now it's got the, I didn't see, oh, sorry, that was me. We can't use that one because that's not a free image. Sorry, I didn't see the, okay. Used to be easy to find ones, but it's not as easy anymore. Let's see what this one will do. All right. Copy image. I should have went through and found ones to use. Ah, there we go. That one should work. All right, start again. So, path, trace bitmap, update. There we go. All right, so that gave us a good image. Oh, hi, Donna. Nice to see you. And I hope I didn't miss anyone else. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Jess. I didn't notice it. It's my eyesight. I didn't notice it, so, but thanks. I did notice it once it came up bigger on the screen. All right, so now we have the 2 images. Now, the trick is you have to make sure you don't get rid of the wrong one. When you click this, look down here on the bottom. It tells you that this is an image. It tells you the size. Now, you're best off using one that's at least 400 by 400. All right, because then there's enough information for the program to read. So this one's plenty good. But then when you click this one, all right, it tells you that it's a path. So that's the one we want to keep. That's what we're looking for, is the path. Okay, so now when so now this actually would be ready. I could take this image, I can save it, right? And then it would be ready to cut into my Silhouette software. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save it because we'll use it later when I go into my Silhouette to show you. All right, I'm going to save it on my desktop. And I'm just going to call it Feather Scrapbook Stuff. Okay. No, I just want desktop. Desktop. There. Okay, I want to call it Feather. Okay. Oh, hi, Linda. Mayo. Okay, so that's actually ready to go in, and you can cut it on cardstock, or I'm going to make a stencil out of it, so later. So that's how you take a Clipart file and trace it. All right, now I'm going to take one that might be, actually I should just leave it. Now for this lesson I'm going to leave it at the easy ones. So for now, if you're just starting with this, choose easy ones, choose ones that are line art or clip art. You can trace ones that have multiple colors, and but I will do that lesson later on. Now, with this program also comes with drawing tools, as you can see down the side here. All right, so we can take and draw and create from scratch, all right, different stencils or things to cut. Sorry, just taking a drink of water here. Oh, yes. Hold on, let me open it. Sorry. Thank you, Eileen. I forgot all about that. Here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to ungroup my objects. And is that ungrouped? No. So what I need to do is path. All right, and I'm going to break apart my path because this is created of a couple of different paths, and the words down here are a different path. So I'm going to go object, and I'm going to break a path, and I'm going to break them apart. Okay, so now I don't want to move any of these ones because I'm going to put them back together. I'm just going to highlight these ones, and I'm going to delete. There's one more little one there. Delete. So now I'm going to just drag around all of them. I'm going to go back to path, and I'm going to go back to combine, and my image comes back. Okay? Okay, so those are easy. So start off basic, start off with easy. Thanks, Jess. Start off easy, and because once you get the hang of this, then it's a matter. Now, I made a mistake when I chose my first clip art, and that's going to happen. I'm also on my laptop. I can't see as well, but that is going to happen. You're going to choose some that won't trace well, and if they don't trace well, just get rid of them and find another one. Because it just depends on the lines and the line art that's used to create them. Okay, so even if they look like they have a lot of really good lines, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to trace well. So I'm going to close. Open and I'm going to save the changes, and I'm going to close. All right, so yes, you can do it all in your silhouette. You can do all of this in the Silhouette Designer, and I'm going to show that too. But a lot of people don't have the Silhouette. The Designer Edition, they may have shortcuts a lot with their Cricut, or they may have Make the Cut, or if you have the shortcuts a lot with the, what's the Sizzix one? Starts with E. You can use these in with that. So, but yes, you can do this all with the Silhouette edition. Hey, Pavla. Oh, really, Pavla? You know, I actually find it a lot easier. I find it easier in Inkscape still because it's different, but probably because I learned Inkscape first and I'm trying to figure out the designer. There are some things in Studio that I want to be able to do that I can't do, that I can do in Inkscape. So that's why I started with Inkscape, because there are a couple of people who have Cricuts with shortcuts a lot that may want to be able to do it from Inkscape. So, all right, so let's say we want to create a really easy, really cool stencil that just has a whole bunch of circles in it. All right, so here's my circle drawing tool. So I'm going to click on it, and I want circles, not ovals. It's actually it's called an ellipse tool because it draws all types of ellipses. A circle just happens to be an ellipse that has the same diameter all the way around. So I'm going to hold down my Shift key while I push my button and draw. Oops. Oh, no, yeah, it doesn't work that way. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, to make sure every time I drag this and it stays in the same proportions. Oh, how come this didn't switch to inches? Oh, because I started a new thing. Hold on. I gotta change my properties. Document properties. I need to switch to inches. 8.5 by 11. Oh, then how come it's not inches? Oops. Sorry, my sister's mouse. Hit 5 to get back to your screen where you want to be. Just a second. Okay. How come this is pixels? Just a second. Anyway. Units. Inches. There. So you can change it up here at the top. All right. Your units, you can switch it to inches. Because I'm just going to make this 2, my circle, by 2. Then I'm going to lock it. All right, I'm going to close that lock. So now every time I drag this, it's going to drag my circle the same size. Okay? All right. Now you can make this any color you want. All right, all these colors, you click, it's going to change the color. Ah, let's make it green. That's so pretty. So I'm going to make, let's say I want to make a grid of circles where the circles are all 2 inches. Well, I can right click and I can duplicate, and then I can use my align key and yada yada yada. Or I can use a really cool feature that Inkscape has, well, probably most drawing programs, but I don't know any. I don't know Adobe Illustrator, so I wouldn't know. Under Edit, okay. All right, instead of duplicate, you're going to clone. All right. Now we want to create a tiled tone. So we want to create a whole bunch of circles set up in tiles. Hi, CB. Nice to see you. Woohoo. So I'm going to choose Create Tiled Clones. Now my box opens up, and you want simple translation in your first symmetry option. Now, here under Shift, okay, now this X and Y is going to tell you how far apart X, which is horizontal, is it? and Y. Yes, X, how far apart they are per row and per column. So I'm going to choose, for this one, let's do 16. And 16. And let's do 16. This will make like a perfect grid, 16. Okay? Now, I'm going to click Create. Oh, no, I'm not. Not yet. I want more than 2 rows and 2 columns. So let's make 6 rows, 6 columns. It says use save size and position off the tile. Create. Oh, now, look what happened because I forgot something. It made them all go down on slants and over on slants. And that is because, okay, I left this exponent at 1 and I wanted it 0. It's been a long time since I've done this. Oops. All right, I've got to click undone again. Remove, reset. Okay, edit, undo. Edit, undo. Hold on. I messed up something. Zero, 0. Let's do 10 here because I think 16 was too much. Last time, 10%, 10%, 10%. Oh, no, 0. Just a second, sorry. Excuse me just for a minute. Don't do this. Hold on. I should have reviewed this myself. Hold on. Edit, undo, edit, undo. Okay, let's try this again. I think it's just here. Just a moment. 10. 10. Just let me test this. I should have tested before I started doing it. Sorry. Oh, well, I guess I shouldn't be showing this because I can't remember. Edit. Sorry for not being prepared for today. Edit, undo. Hold on. Thank goodness for edit, undo buttons. Just a moment. Never mind. Well, let's not do a tiled. Never mind. Ignore that last. I'm going to have to edit this video. Okay, anyway. There's all my cloned. They're all there. Hold on. Forget it. Let's get rid of them. All right, let's do a stencil that has... Never mind. Different size. Okay. All right. Let's just make it like this. Thanks. It's just so weird because I was so good at this, but I haven't done it in like forever. So I'll think about that and come back to it. But all right, so let's say we want to make a stencil that has different size circles on it, like one of those bubble ones. So now the thing with this program is you do not want to copy and paste. Okay, copy and paste does not work. All right, Now, so when I draw an object, if you look down here, it's called an ellipse. But remember that we want a path, all right? We always have to have it as a path. So up here on path, I go object to path. And now you will see down here that this object is now a path, all right, with 4 nodes, all right? So when I click here, you can see there are 4 nodes, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is what your cutter will read. It'll say cut from here to here in this curved line, from here to here, here to here. All right, and so that's what your cutter reads in a file in order to cut the blade. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take this object and I'm going to click on it and I'm going to duplicate it. All right. Now, since I'm making one, I'm going to make a stencil that it doesn't matter where they're placed because I want them all over the place. I'm just going to click and duplicate. Now, let's say to make my life easier, I'm going to choose them all. And I'm going to duplicate them all. All right. And I'm going to duplicate them all. Now, let's see. This stencil, I don't want them all to be the same size. So let's just start making some of them smaller. All right. Let's make some itty bitty ones. All right. Let's make some that are a little bigger. Let's get one in there that's that size. Let's make this one smaller. All right, so you can just move them all around like you can any other program. Let's make a bigger one. Let's make that fit in there. Okay. All right, let's make... I need a small one there. Medium one, let me make it a little bit bigger. Still fit in there. All right, now let's say I kind of like that pattern. All right, and I don't want to keep... Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get my sister's mouse to work the way I want it to. It's actually a pretty nice mouse. All right. So I like this pattern, and I want to just kind of duplicate it. I'm going to do some changes to it though, but I'm going to select them all. And I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Now I'm going to flip it. So up here are all the different options you can do with your page. And it shows you exactly how things flip or turn. Now I want to flip it horizontally. All right, so now if I move those down, let's also flip it vertically. There we go. All right. So now I kind of have that, but it doesn't quite fit. I want to keep it up above my size line there. So I have to move things around a little bit. I'm going to change this size so I don't have two exactly the same size beside each other. So let's make that one smaller then. Let's fit that in there. Let's just move things around. Okay, so there we go. Let's make this one tinier so that I can fit that up there. Let's move this a little bit. Move this one in. Move this one in. Okay, so now I have a little bit of room here to fit another row. So let's just take whatever I can from here. Let's duplicate them. And let's flip them. And let's see. Let's move them around a little bit here. This one needs to be smaller. So I'm just trying to use my eye for design to move these and make it look random and yet not too random. Okay. Yes, I can do letters, and I will do one with letters. Oh, hi, Tam. Nice to see you. And if I've missed anyone else coming in. Now, I know you can just take this and put it onto your mat and it will cut. But I always like to have it so that the outside of my stencil also cuts. So I like to turn this into like a rectangle. So I'm actually going to add another shape. I'm going to change everything to black for this other shape, and I'm going to click my rectangle tool, and I'm going to simply trace around the outside size of my page, my 8.5 by 11. Now I can always change this later. Now, you can't see my circle, so I first have to make this a path. So I'm going to go path, object to path, and then I'm going to send it to the bottom. Here's your layers keys right here. And I want to send my black one to the bottom. So my black layer is chosen, and I'm going to click and send it to the bottom. Okay, so now I can really see where all my circles are sitting, and this one's a little too close to the edge for me. So I'm going to move this up a little bit, and I'm going to move this up a little bit because I always like to have a nice edge along the edge of my stencil to hold on to, or so it doesn't rip. So I'm just going to move things around a little bit so that I don't end up with something ripping on me that I don't want it to rip. I think I'm going to take that out here, put this out here. Nope. I like it better the other way. So you can always move things around. Okay. All right. So now here's what I need to do. I can go to Edit, Select All, or I can drag over everything. And that didn't select the black one. So Edit, Select All. Now what I want to do is cut all of those circles, okay, out of the black rectangle. All right? So I want to cut all of those circles out of the black rectangle. So I'm going to go up to Path, and I'm going to do Exclusion because I want to exclude all of those circles from the shape in behind. So I'm going to click Exclusion, and now watch. When I click this, there's only one shape there. So now I don't have to worry about all those circles getting moved and getting messed up on me because I only have one shape. Okay? Hi, Miko. So what did that take me? 10 minutes? All right. So I'm going to call this maybe Bubbles. So File, Save As. It's going to my desktop, and I'm going to call it Bubbles. Bubbles. Ta-da. All right, so I've got that one done. All right. So, close. Oh, that closed my whole program. Oh, well, silly. Sorry, now I have to open my Inkscape again. Takes a few minutes. It shouldn't take as long since I have my other program is already opened. So any questions about that? Any questions about that I didn't see? Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat while I was excuse me. Oh, Dee Dee. Sorry, Dee Dee, I didn't see you come in. I apologize. I will show the same process in Studio when I open it up. Hold on. Oh, it's showing as open. I just have to do a... Oh, there it is. Okay. It takes a while to open up on my Mac. All right, so it's a new program, so I'm going into my Documents Properties. Excuse me. Inches, 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to do landscape. Most of mine I do in landscape when I'm designing. All right, click the number 5 to get your paper in the whole thing. So, anyway. Okay, so Linda asked if we can do letters. Now, remember, if you're making a stencil, okay, you have to have sections where if you cut out certain shapes, you're going to cut out the whole shape and just get a silhouette. You have to have lines that connect your outside section. So let me show you for a moment. I'll show you with a text. Where's my text button? Hello. Oh, sorry. It's this screen's smaller than my laptop, so I had to click. Text is usually showing here, but because my screen, it's not my big screen, it's under the arrow here. So let's just type hello. All right. Now, let's make it larger. Now, here's the problem. If I use this font in a stencil, the H will be okay. But anything that has insides, for example, this E, this inside part is also going to get cut out, right? And so is this inside of the O. Now, some people don't care. I can't stand stencils that have a circle or an oval as an O. Bugs me to no end. And I don't want that, just the shape of that E, as my stencil either. Hey Marie, it's colloquy on Mac. If you have a Windows PC, then you can use Ice Chat. Yeah, I can even make the font bigger. So, yeah. All right. So, if I really want to use this font and I want to make a stencil with this hello, I can do it. But what I have to do is I have to take, for example, I can either take a rectangle or I can take a line. It's a little easier to do it with a rectangle and just make a really small rectangle. Make a skinny rectangle. So let's make the rectangle in yellow so you can see what I'm doing. Oops. Make it a little wider. So I could take that and put a rectangle there. And see, what I'm doing is I'm connecting this and this. All right. I'm going to actually, oh, hold on. I have to make this a path first. So path, object to path. Is that how I do it? No. Oh, I have to ungroup it first. Oops, sorry. Ungroup. Path. All right, so these are already paths. Okay. My letters are now paths. You have to ungroup them. All right, so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to duplicate it. Put it here. All right. Then I'm going to take those, and I'm going to duplicate them again. Whoops. I just duplicate, and I'm going to move them over to my O. Now I have to make them paths, object to path, and I have to make these ones. I should have made it a path first before I duplicated it. Path, object to path. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this. Now, I want to take those yellow, okay, I have to take those yellow rectangles and cut them out of the O. So I'm going to go path, And I'm going to go, no, I'm not going to go. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong thing. Yeesh. Try that again. Path. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm just forgetting which one I needed to do. Did the wrong one. Edit, undo. Path. Just a second. Division, no. Path. Hold on, just a second. It should be there. Oh, sorry. And that's not it either. Oh, hold on. Just a second. I'm going to move them over here. Let me do it the other way. I'm going to cut it first. Eesh. All right, so I'm going to take, sorry, excuse me, I have to do that later. Okay, so I'm going to take my rectangle, path, object to path. Now I'm going to send it to the back. Let's make it a little smaller here. Let's move that out of the way. Where's that other one? There's another one there somewhere. There it is. Get it out of there. Okay, so, all right, so I've selected them all, just like we did last time, path, exclusion. All right, so now I have my hello. All right, so now what I have to connect. So now if I leave this, when this E cuts out, okay, this center section of the E is also going to cut out. So I'm going to make this black so it's easier to see. So now I'm going to take these over and add them here. Now there are stencil fonts, and I'll show you how to do it. I just wanted to show you that you could do it with a font that wasn't already stenciled. Now I wouldn't want to, this is a pain, but hey, if you enjoy this kind of thing, you can do it. And Pavla's probably laughing at my skills here. Lack of skills. Miss Pavla needs to do a lesson on this. But I'm not sure what program she uses though. Okay, so now what I want to do is select everything. Now I want to add those yellow ones into the stencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do path, and I'm going to union them. Union them. So now when this cuts out, all right, this half of the O will cut out, this half of the O will cut out, and so it leaves the center in. Same thing with the E, all right, that whole black, that'll cut out. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. All right. So that's how you can do it with any font. Anything that has a center cut out. The D's, let's see, B, A is okay, capital A and small a, you're going to have to do it with the A's. B has a cutout, so you would have to add these little lines on a B. C's okay. D would need these lines. Capital E is okay. Capital E's are okay, but the small e's need it. F's are fine. G's would need these lines. Lowercase g's need the lines. H are fine. I is good. J is fine. K is okay. L, M's, N, O you need it. P you need it. Q you need it. R's you would need it for the uppercase. S's are fine. T's are okay. TU are good. V, W, X, Y, and Z. So it's the ones that have those center circles that need those lines. Hi, Dixie. Nice to see you. Okay. All right. Now, I do have, it depends. I can use any of the fonts that I have in my computer, or you can, anybody can. All right, so up here, that was using Bits Stream Versus Fonts, whatever that is. But I do have a stencil one. So if I go down to my S, so I've got stencil, okay, so I have a stencil one. So now, oops, sorry, I didn't type. All right. Now you can see with that stencil font, they've already disconnected all those sections, okay, so that they will cut out fine. And that stencil font is free, so you can go and look at that. A signature? You mean like a written signature, Linda? You could. You would have to, if you wanted to do your actual signature, you would have to write it on a piece of paper and you would have to leave sections open. Or let's see, where's some of my script? Just a second. Whoops, sorry. Ugh. Well, I'm going the wrong way, first of all. Is that a script? Yes, it is. Now, this one, if I wanted to do this as a script, you see that this part of the J isn't joined, so that works, but I would have to break apart this line somewhere. I'd have to break apart this circle. I'd have to break apart here somewhere. I'd have to break apart my A. All right, so you have to break apart those lines so that your letters will cut out properly. So you could. Bye, Marie. Oh, good luck to your grandson on his game. Okay, so yes, you can do it with it. You can do it with any font. You just have to be aware that you have to break apart lines. Okay, now, unless you want a mask. Now this would be good if I just, okay, hold on. Notice how my E is connected to the A. And the A is connected to the N, okay? Actually, the only letter that's not connected is the J, and that's actually pretty easy to fix. I'm going to ungroup them. Oops, let's make them a path first. Where's my ungroup? Hello. Object. Woo. There we go. Ungroup. Hello, why didn't it ungroup? No groups. Oh, that's text. Sorry, my object to path didn't work. Now I can ungroup it. All right, so now all I have to do to make this is if I take this over until that J touches the E. All right, so now if I cut this out, Let's group. All right, actually, I'm going to make that. I always like to make, for whatever reason, I usually like to make my top layer a color, and I always liked it. This is just personal, it doesn't matter. It works either way. I like to make my back layer rectangle, so it's an object. I have to make it a path. And now I can send it to back. Now, for whatever reason, I always seem to like to make my back layer black and my front layer. Now, if I took this, and I actually might make this a stencil, path, exclusion, oops, hold on, I didn't select everything. Hold on, edit, select all, path, exclusion, oh, hello. What happened? Did it get joined again? Sorry, your objects have to be ungrouped. Path. What happened? Oh, I don't know how that happened. Ungroup. That is a path. All right, it's a path. All right, it should work now. Just remember, everything has to be a path. Okay, why isn't it working? It is a path. That's a path. Okay, let's break it apart. No, edit, undo. Well, that's really strange. That font does not seem to want to. Wonder what happens if I combine them. Oh, there we go. That worked. So I had to combine it, I guess, because of the type of path it was. So sometimes you just have to play around till you get it. Now, when I send this to the cutter, I can use Jean as a mask. Hey, Suzanne. Nice to see you. I hope I didn't miss anyone else. So let's just go save as, and I'll put Jean. And it's on my desktop, which is where I want it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I created the circle one that kind of looks like a Lego pop of a Lego. And then I made a square one. I'm going to show you how I made that. Now, or is there any other choice? Anyone else would like to see something? You're welcome, Linda. Anyone else like to see something? Oh, I'm going to get rid of that guide. Okay. Would anyone else like to see me do something specific? Okay. I want to try one of those 3D ones, like with the circle one that looked like Lego and the square one. And I want to try it with stars. So here's how you make a star. Down here, this is called your polygon shape. So you click that. Now up here, you say whether you want a star shape or a regular polygon. Okay, polygon is just a multi-sided shape. Okay, multi-sided shape. Now you can choose how many corners you want. So right now, if I drew this, there would only be 3 corners, so I wouldn't have a star, I'd have a triangle. So this is how you draw triangles. All right, I want 5. All right, so there's my star. All right. Okay, so now basically what I want is I want to offset 2 stars and then cut part of one away, okay, to leave me part of a shape. So I am going to duplicate this. Remember, you use duplicate and not, okay, excuse me, first I'm going to make it a path. Object, path, path, object, path. Now I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to change its color to make it easier to work with. Now what I want to do is I want to set it in, to offset it, okay, on this. Okay. And I'm also going to make this top one a little smaller because when I offset it, let's see, what do I want? I want this to be totally covered. There we go. And let's, it's not as easy when it's, hold on here. Okay, hold on. No, maybe I want it the exact same size. Let's go back to the exact same size. See, this is what I would be doing at home too. I'd be talking out loud to myself, which my mom laughs at, but anyway, whatever. She does it too, at least she admits it now. So I just want to offset it. There we go. All right, yeah, I'm going to leave it the same size. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I think, hold on, let me see if it gives me what I want. No, I don't want to undo. I don't want a union. Hold on. I want to, just a second. I always have to think, yes, okay, edit, undo. Okay, so I want to cut out the yellow star from the black star. So I want to leave the difference of the two, okay? So what it's going to do is it's going to get rid of, oh no, what's up with, sorry, I have to go back here a minute because I have to see what Jess is, just a second. Oh dear, 36 communities. Now see, as of last night, it was 16 when I looked, or actually first thing this morning, it was 16 communities. Now it's 36. Ugh. Well, yeah, because you guys are probably still getting the runoff from the rivers from the snow. Because you guys get the runoff from the Rockies and everything too. And from up north, even though you don't have any mountains technically. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible, terrible. Okay, so what I want to be left with is the black part actually that's showing. So I want to be left with just the black part that's showing. So I'm going to go to Path, and I'm going to Difference. All right, so now I'm left with just the black part. Okay, so it's going to look like a popped up star, kind of. Okay, now, so I'm actually going to turn this into a stencil. So I'm going to, let's try this duplicate clone again. Let me see if I can get it right this time. I think I might know. Clone, create tiled clones. Okay, let me try something. 10, 10. Okay, hold on. Okay, maybe I have to do it this way. Just a second. If I get this right, I will repeat it with instructions so that let me see. How come it's not giving me? I have 6 rows by 6 rows. What am I doing wrong? Maybe it's the 15 here, is it? Hold on. Okay, hold on, that's why. Geesh Louise. Okay. Alright. So I still don't know why they're moving over. I think I do. Never mind, I think this has to be 0. Let me try one more thing. There we go. All right. So you have 0, 0. Your exponent's 1. You choose how many rows you want. Okay. There we go. How dumb am I? All right. Now the thing is, this creates a clone. The one that's highlighted, okay, is still your original. So I'm going to move it over there. I don't want it to get messed up. And they are too big, but I want that many, so I'm going to zoom out here. And I'm going to select them all. And I'm going to make it smaller and fit in that space. And I'm going to center it here. All right, now the reason I kept that one is if something went wrong, I'm going to hit 5 and it's going to bring back to the full screen there. Oh, sorry, I've got to move down my chat here. Oh, right. Hi, Carrie. No problem. Sorry, I'm going through the chat quickly here. I'm trying to get caught up. There we go. Whew. Okay. All right, so there's all my little stars. Now, like I said, I always like to create my outline of my stencil to cut as well. I'm going to change those all to yellow. I'm going to make my rectangle the size of my page here. So at least I figured out how to do that. Woohoo! Okay, path, object to path, send it to the back. Now I'm going to edit, select all, and exclusion. And I have a feeling something's going to go wrong. Yes, because you have to do, okay, so when you make a clone, this is the thing I haven't figured out if there's another way to do this or not. When you make a clone, all right, it's the same as everything else. So you actually have to cut it out all individually. So you have to select the background and the star go exclusion. I don't know. I have not figured out any other way to do it but one at a time. I don't know why. It has something to do with the fact that they were cloned. But it's still easier than trying to align each individual one. So it does look like a metal plate, doesn't it? It kind of started, it's supposed to be like a star, offset star, but it does look like a metal plate. You're right. Sorry, I am not a keyboard shortcut person. I use my mouse. That's just me. I just find it easier. I don't know if it has to do with my eyes or it's just the way I learned and I don't like to change one or the other. Oh, sorry. Didn't click right on the... Oops, sorry, path. Exclusion. This mouse, it's a nice mouse. It's a little more, it's sensitive. Oh, love my undo button. When I was teaching computers to my kids at school, the first thing I teach them is edit, undo, edit, undo. Oh, and what Pavla said? Oh, combine them first? Duh. Okay, thank you, Pavla. But not the background, I assume. Okay, so path, combine. So now I can do that and this and path exclusion. Oh my gosh! Ah, thank you, Pavla. You saved my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woohoo! Ugh. Well, just Linda, remember when you're watching recording that I made a couple of errors as I went. If I get time and Mom's napping, I'll try and make a video where I'm not making mistakes. Yes, Control Z or on Mac Command Z is undo. Whew. Thank you, Pavla. Woohoo. All right, so I'm going to save this as 3D stars. And we'll do it with a Z. 3D stars. Okay. Yeah, that was easy. Oh, and I should have thought of that too. Like it should have made sense in my mind, and it does now that she says it. It's like, yeah. Okay, but hey, that's how you learn. I'll remember that next time because I made the mistake so many times. Now I'll remember. I have to combine all my cloned objects. Now, I forgot something. Before I save this, I want to remove this star that I saved just in case. All right, this was my original. I saved it over here in case I needed it. But I don't want to save it with my file. So I'm going to remove it. Press number 5 to bring me back to the middle. And now I'll save again. Ooh, it just came? Oh, Jan. You have to open it. Woohoo. That's fun stuff. Fun times. Fun times. All right, now let me open my Silhouette software here. Oops. Sorry, gotta close you in here. There we go. Move you guys around. so I can see my chat. Oh, I don't want to see this. How do I close this? There we go. All right. Ah, you need a place to put it first. That's kind of important, huh? All right. Now I always like to see my grid, so I'm going to turn on my grid. Now because I reduced my mat, some of my options are down here. And I want to show my grid. Okay. What? Hey, hello. I thought I asked to show my grid. I did. Oh, there we go. Okay. Miko, this is Ustream Producer. This is Ustream Producer. Oh, my iced tea's gone. I may have to run and get some water. Okay. So. All right. Now. Okay, so I can take and cut any of those files that hello, it keeps, hold on. It keeps drifting on me. Okay. Let's open on my desktop my 3D stars. All right, so this is the one I just all right, so there's the one I just created. Now, once I have it in the studio, all right, I can change it whatever size I want. Hi, Darcy. No, I found there's two things I use. The ones I like the best is I actually found some file folders. If you go back to one of my stencil recordings on my YouTube channel, you'll see what the package looks like. But at my Dollarama, they had some file folders that were actually like a frosted plastic, and so there were 12 file folders for $2.50. And so I get 2 stencils out of each file folder. So for $2.50, I get 24 stencils. Now, my Dollarama also has, and they may be easier for you to find, plastic index dividers to go in binders. And I use those as well. The thickness, the plastic is about the same thickness, but the index dividers are a little more flimsy than the file folders are. But anything like that will work. Hi, Darcy. Mom's okay. She's minding the heat a lot. She didn't used to. So, but she's okay. It's very hot here, very warm. So, but I'm glad I'm here with her because, yeah, we don't want her to be alone. So I can change the size of this. Now, if I wanted to cut it to be a 6x6 or a 6 by whatever, it's not going to be square because it's not a square stencil. Or I can do it to be 8.5 by 11-ish because that's what I made it. Okay? And so that's, you just put that on, put your thing in the stencil, and that, poof, it'll cut on my silhouette. So, yeah. So all of those are ready to be cut as stencils. Now, let's open. Let's see what my other ones looked like. bubbles. Let's see what that one looks like. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like when I cut it. Darcy, the latest was like she's at the emergency evacuation center and they have to evacuate from there because there's no power. So they're waiting to be evacuated from the emergency center. So it's not looking good. Her animals are all fine, her pets are fine, but their house is basically a total loss. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it? Now, because I designed these myself, I can share them. And and what was the other one I did today? My name and the feather. So let's open both of those on here. Okay, so there is the feather. Now, you have to remember when this feather cuts out, all right, all these black lines are going to cut out. So as far as a stencil, you're only going to get the outside, you'll get the outside shape, okay? Some of the detail won't be left behind. Like these detail lines won't be left in. But you'll get a cool kind of outside. But you'll get the mask of the actual feather. I can move this, and what I would probably do if I was cutting this, I would copy, paste. I would make several different sizes of feathers. I would squish as many as I could onto my page. I can rotate them so that I can fit them in better. Right? So that I would have different size feathers. Well, I'll be left with a mask. See? All right, so, okay, so what's going to happen, Suzanne? With most of them, you'll be left with, like, for example, this feather. It's going to cut out, can I make it? Hold on, just a second. Let me show you. Where's my cut? Just a second. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me see if I can zoom in. See, it's not letting me. Hold on. You won't be able to see the chat for a second, but I want to show you. I want to show Suzanne. All right, so Suzanne, if you see where those red lines are, that is going to cut. All of those red lines are going to cut. So you'll be left with the stencil outline of the feather, and you'll be left with the feather mask. Okay. Now, obviously, with the 3D stars, you're not going to be... All right, wait, now where's this one? How come that didn't... That's strange. Sorry, I thought I closed those and I didn't. Don't save. Okay, let me open up my stars again. All right, now when I open my stars one, Suzanne, let me get my chat back so I can see it. So some of them, yes, you're going to get a mask and you're going to get a stencil. Now, with this stars one, not the way it's created here. No, you're not going to get a mask because all these individual white parts are going to cut out. All right, so everything that's white is going to get cut out, and you're going to get left behind with this. Now, however, there is a way, if I connected all those white parts, then I could create a mask. All right, so for example, what ones did I don't know which ones I have. With the bubbles, all right, all those circles are going to cut out, okay? Now it's really cool, it's easy, I can make a circle one that'll make me a mask. I'll do that. But this one you're going to be left with circles. So if you want to, you could keep all those circles in a little baggie and you'd have all those different size circles to use as masks, right? So, yeah. Hey, Sarah! Love my Mac. Uh-oh. Hey, Pam. Bye, CP. I am recording. Hopefully it's still recording. Yeah, and so that would give you lots of circles. So yes, you could keep all those circles, and I mean with the stars one, no, you're not going to keep all those little sections because that just wouldn't make sense. Okay. All right. So let's do one actually, since I'm in studio and some of you have the studio program. I'm not saving those as studio files because I don't cut with my laptop. Well, I will if I'm at. Okay, so those feathers will leave you masks and will leave you a stencil. The stencil won't be as detailed, okay, but you will be left with a stencil. Oh no, wait a minute. Jess has bad news, more bad news. Uh-oh. Oh. Melville. Is that a big city, Jess? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrible. All right, so I'm going to open a new file. I'm going to make a, oh, shoot. Dang it, I wanted a new file. I'm going to make it 8.5 width, 11, height 8.5. There we go. All right, now I'll close this window so you guys can see better. Bye, Pavla. Pavla's a pro at this, so this is not exciting for her, I'm sure. All right, so what I want to do is I want to make a circle stencil. I'm going to make it like rings, though. And then I'm going to connect all the rings so that I can have a mask, okay, of circles. So this program is very similar to the Inkscape. There's my Ellipse Tool, so I'm going to hold Shift. All right. Now, one thing I don't like about this, when you first draw, it only draws the line, the red line. If you want to fill it, you have to fill it. So it's easier for me to see what I'm doing if I fill. There's my fill. So I'm just going to fill it. Let's just use a green. How'd you guys guess I was going to use a green? All right. Now, it doesn't matter what size you make the first one. Welcome back, Carol. Hi, Carol. Yes, Pavla does have a Ustream channel. Pavlart. She's only streamed a couple times, but she does have a couple of videos. She also has a YouTube channel. Okay, now I'm going to copy or duplicate. Okay, I'm going to make this one smaller. And I'm going to change the fill color so I can see what I'm doing. See which one is which. And I'm going to center these. Excuse me. Now normally if this screen was full screen, all these options would be continued across the top. But because I have it reduced so that I can see the chat, where's my align? There's my, is that my align? Yeah. So I want to align it center and center, so that aligns them in the center. Okay. So now I can zoom in even more. I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to zoom in on just this area. There we go. Now you can see. I forgot I can do that with this program, which I do like. I gotta get my finger in the right spot here to work her mouse. I'm so used to my own mouse. Okay, so now selecting both of those circles. And I am going to Object, Modify, and in this one it's called Subtract, I think, that I want. Yes. So it's called something different than an Inkscape. So now I have subtracted, okay? I have subtracted that inside circle from the outside circle, so now I'm left with a ring. All right, so now I'm going to go to my page view. And I don't think I want any of the rings that big. And let's make it black so it's easier for me to work with. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to make a whole bunch of rings, different sizes. And the only thing I have to be careful of, because we want it to be a mask, we have to make sure all of our rings are connected to at least one other ring. Okay? No, there isn't a whole lot of difference, Eileen, between this and Scal, except how you get to the different options and choices. But so it just took a little bit of me figuring out where the different choices were. But there are a couple of more advanced features that are not on this that you can do in Inkscape. Like that clone thing. I don't think you can clone either. Well, I haven't found it. I haven't played with this much. I've only had it a month, so, you know. Let's just see. I wonder. There's a replicate. Oh, look at this. Okay, so under replicate, I've got lots of choices. So I can duplicate left, duplicate right, duplicate above it or below it, mirror left, mirror right, mirror above, mirror below, rotate one copy, 2 copies, 3 cape. Now, rotating a circle is not going to make any difference, but if you had a star, that would be cool. I have to play with this more. A row of 3, a row of 4, column of 3, column of 4, or fill the page. Replicate options. Let's see how advanced I can get. Oh, that's just the same thing only. Okay, so let's go to Object. Replicate. I'm going to make a a row of 4. There's a row of 4. Now I'm going to change the size, so don't worry about that. I can always change the size later. And then I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to go Object, Replicate, and I'm going to make a column of 3. Okay, there we go. So now let's just change some sizes, and then we can do some more replication later. All right, so I'm going to make this one smaller. So I'm going to connect it to that one. Let's make this one bigger. Let's connect it here. Let's just move this one up there. Let's move this one out of the way. Ooh, yay, Sarah. That sounds fun. Let's move that up a tiny bit more. I want this to look somewhat random, so I want to make this one smaller. So let's move this over here. I don't want any of them to overlap inside like that. Not on this particular one. That would be a cool design, but I don't want it particularly like that. Okay, so I'm going to make this small because I want it to go up more. I want it to be way up here. I want it to go up there. Okay, and then I want to make one nice big one and connect it to those 2. There we go. I would need a bigger one down here to make this kind of grounded, equal to the other side. Okay, now I need a tiny one to fit in there, so let's just zoom that in right small, like that. So, yes, you should, Carrie. Yay, Sarah is going to join the art journaling world. Took me a long time, Sarah, but I am enjoying it. I really am. Never thought I would say that. Honestly, never. All right, so let's do that, and that. Let's just duplicate those. And let's move them down here. Let's flip horizontally. And let's also flip vertically. There we go. And let's rotate it a little bit. Oh, actually, I want it to rotate it, not flip it. Okay, let's rotate it this way. And let's take this out of there. Let's move it over here. Let's make it smaller. I hope no one's asking me questions. I kind of got involved here, forgot what I was doing. There. Let's add. Okay, let's just a second here. We need another something up there. Let's just do something. Let's select them all and let's turn them all a little bit this way. Because then I can take one that's maybe this size And let's move it over here. And let's make it a little smaller. And hey, Kathy, nice to see you too. How was today? Did you cry? Did you cry, Kathy? It must be so hard. Not even getting to say goodbye to your little kids. It'll be so heartbroken. All right, I like that. So what I'm going to do, because I can always change the size later, I'm going to take that. All right. Now, like I say, oops, let's change the color. I always like to, I could just send this through and cut it. It'll cut, but it's a thing that I have that I just like to see the final product. So I'm just going to change the color here, and I'm going to do the same thing as I've done before. Oops, I didn't have those selected. Oops. All right. So I'm going to draw my rectangle here. And I'm going to fill it with black. There must be a way to make that color. Oh, nice. Herding cats. Yeah, exactly. Oh, really, Tim? Oh, cool. All right, so I want to send this object. I have to find out where my layers are. Arrange. Yeah, send to back. Okay, so now I want to select all. And I want to, oh no, hold on. I don't want to do that yet. Hello, sorry, I forgot something. See the way these are? See the red lines? They're all going to cut. So it's going to cut all those circles, and I don't want that. Sorry, I almost forgot this step. Yeesh. Whew. So I've selected all of those. Now I have to go to, where is it under? Modify? No, yeah, weld. I have to weld those all together. Oops, now somehow I missed that. See this one? I missed it. So I want to go back, make sure I get them all selected. There we go. Object, modify. They unselected on me. Hold on. Okay, edit, select all. There we go. Object, modify, weld. There we go. Oh, no, I don't want to. Oh, I just welded it with the rectangle. Undo. Sorry, I'm going to have to deselect the rectangle. Object, modify, weld. All right, so now you can see. Now when you look at that yellow, there's no red lines amongst those circles that are going to cut out. Okay? So now I can place this back. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller though. Yeah, this way. I want to make it smaller this way. A little bit longer here. I like to have enough along my edges that... Alright, now I'm going to show you. Edit. Select all. Object. Modify. Subtract. No, that's not working. Hold on. Ah, there we go. It just took a while to do. Okay? So, now here's the thing. Oh, Kathy. Woohoo! Yay. Uh-oh, was I snorting, not just growling? Uh-oh. Okay. Now, the thing is, remember, when this cuts out, all these rings are going to cut out. So you're going to be left with that ring mask. But what it's going to leave behind is you're going to also be left with a stencil that kind of has this weird, you're just going to be left with these kind of scoopy things, which could kind of look like a weird cloud. You could keep it. You never know when you could use it as a fancy frame or something, right? So, and you'll also be left with these circles, but you'll be left with these odd shapes cut out. But it will leave you this kind of scooped, if you go around the whole outside of the shape, that's what it's going to leave you. But, so there's another stencil. Now I'm going to save this one because I don't have it saved anywhere else. I have under my desktop somewhere, I have scrapbooking stuff, and I think I have a silhouette. Maybe, do I have a silhouette file yet in this machine? I don't know if I do. Stencils, I'll put them there, under my stencils. So this is rings. Ring mask. There we go. All right. Well, please don't swat my, Linda, don't swat my mouse. Yes, you could. You could. If you wanted to keep all those leftovers. Yep. So, all right. So does anyone else want to see anything else? It's almost 7. It's only been 2 hours, but Mom might be napping. She was pretty tired today, but yep. So on the edge name cuts, okay. All right, so let's say we want to cut someone's name. All right, let's see here. I'm not sure why. Hold on. Let me see why I'm getting... I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. I don't want it to do that. I want it to... I don't know why it's going down below my screen there like that. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so... Now, why is it doing that? Hello. Just a second. There we go. All right, a person's body. Yes, I can do a person's body. I actually have, let me see. I do have lots of women and men, ladies. So I have some stencils. That'll give me a mask and a stencil of the body. Bye, Kathy. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tam, but it often takes 2 weeks to get things up to Canada. So yeah, so I do have lots of people stencils. But let's go back to that you asked about doing on the edge. So let's do a rectangle. Actually, let's do a rounded rectangle. Because very often you want. So let's say maybe we'll put the word thanks on here. Let's fill it first so I can see better. All right. So let's say we want to make a thanks for the side of a card. So we want to make this, let's say for the long side of a card, so 5.5. So let's make it 5.5. My rulers are up at the top there. Oops, come on. 5.5. It's not quite over to the edge, so 5.5. Okay. All right. So that's going to fit along the side of a card. All right. So let's take down here. This is my font icon. Let's do, let's see, one of my favorite. Let's find a good font. I've got too many fonts sometimes that can be a drawback because it takes forever to choose a font. So I've got lots of good fonts. Hello. Let's keep going, buddy. Oh, my computer's. Just don't crash. Don't crash, Silhouette. It's thinking. It's thinking. I've got too many fonts. Yes, I should, Eileen. You're right. Okay, let's keep going. It stopped thinking. There, that one will work, I think. Maybe. There. Okay, this one. All right, I'm going to click that one. Click back here. Let's close it. Let's do the word thanks. What? Would help if I spelled properly. Yeesh. All right. All right, so now I want to draw it out so it's the same size. And what I want to do is to move it down. Let's fill it in yellow so I can see. Okay, so you want to make sure each letter, okay, connects to your hello. All right, there we go. You want each letter to connect to the box. All right. Now, this does not have to be this wide, so I am going to make it narrower. Okay, so then you just want to take this, go to Object, you go to Modify, you go to Weld, and now you have that can go on the edge of a card. Bye, Tim. Okay. So that's how you put something on the edge. That'll cut out as one piece. So if you wanted it to be a card front, let's say you wanted it to be on the side of undo, edit, undo, weld. There we go. So let's say you wanted that thanks to go down the side of a card front. So you would want the top of this whole thing, okay, to equal 5.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Just making sure. Okay, so I'm counting from there to there. That's 5.5 by 4.25. So I could make this like this. So the H and the K is at the top on that line. So if I drew this down to 4.25. Hold on, it's not quite 5.5. Let's make that 5.5. Okay. All right. Now I want to center these two. Align. My align is over here. Align. And I want to center this way. All right, so now it's centered. So now if I weld, Object, Modify, Weld. Okay, so now that when that cuts, that'll fit perfectly on the front of a card. 4.5 by 5.5. Well, yes, it is easier to use the resize tool. I haven't figured that out yet. Jess, I know. Yes. Donna, only if you were lucky enough to have shortcuts a lot before it died. But anyway, bye, Sarah. Thanks for coming, wee Sarah. And she left already. Yeah. I'm kind of like Jen in that sometimes I do things the hard way. Yes, I haven't figured out if I was doing this on shortcuts a lot, I would have used my resize tool. I just don't know where it is yet here. To tell you the truth. Oh, there it is right there, the scale. There it is, it's under scale. I could have just changed it right there. Under scale. So, yeah, that would have been easier. Anyway. What's the name of that font? I think it's, just a second, Blackmore, L-E-T. Blackmore. It's like a pirate one, sort of. Well, Donna, doesn't the new Explorer, the new Explorer will use SVGs, won't it? Won't the new Cricut use Explorer? I went for Silhouette. I went for a Cameo for a good reason. My Cricut has a new home. But I went for the Silhouette because of how easy it is to print and cut and scan and cut with it. And I didn't know it was. And it's $150, well, more than $150 cheaper than, actually it was $200 cheaper than the scan and cut by Brother. So I am very happy with my Silhouette because it's so easy to do print and cut and scan and cut. So easy. I'm so happy with it. Oh, yeah. Page maker. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah. But, you know. So, anything else you'd like to see? Yeah, I know, Donna. Exactly. Well, that was my thing. I don't know. I didn't like what Provocraft did to the small company that came up with shortcuts a lot. I mean, I was able to still use my shortcuts a lot because I didn't update my Cricut and I already had it before the lawsuit. But I just thought, you know what? They could have gone about it another way. They could have asked for a certain amount of the um, percentage of the sales from the program instead. Or they could have embraced it like Cameo. What Cameo did, what the Silhouette did, was they said, well, okay, we'll come up with our own program that will do the same, and so people won't have to go to this other program. Like, I mean, taking a small company to court. I mean, I know, I understand the reason for it, and they had every right to do it, and it was infringing on their copyright in a way, but I just think there were other ways they could have handled it. That's all. Yep. So, and yeah, and mine did too, Eileen. Mine did still really cut nice. So the person who got mine, I'm not saying who. Most people probably figured out who has it, but I don't know if she wants it broadcast. But the it still cut perfectly. I was still fine with it. I just wanted to be able to do print and cut and scan and cut. And with the Cricut, it's a pain in the patootie. But with a Cameo, it's not. It's so easy to do. So anyway. Oh, exactly, Jess. And I agree. I agree. I just, I don't know. So, yes, the Eclipse. That's what I was trying to think of earlier, Eileen. The Eclipse, Sizzix. That's right. Sizzix was the one. They embraced it and allowed, yeah, exactly. So, anyway. Yeah, and the thing is with the Cricut, the problem is I'm pretty sure the Imagine now will cut SVGs, but the problem is that it took them 4 years, 3 years to come up with it. And by then, the people who want to use these types of programs and get more creative have already switched to the Silhouette, to the Cameo. See, like, that's my thing. They have lost a lot of I think they've lost a lot of their patronage that they could have kept if they had somehow managed it differently. That's all I'm saying, business-wise. I'm not saying they didn't have a right. They did have a right. Legally, they had a right to do what they did. But so, yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Other companies embraced it more quickly and came up with a solution more quickly, and so they got a lot of the business that Cricut Provocraft lost because of it. So, yeah. So, I'm going to leave it at there. I need to go get something to... Yeah, well, Linda, that's what I had. Oh, no, I didn't have the expression 2. I had the regular expression, so... But, okay, so I'm going to stop recording.